Hi, Gemini. I hope you're having a good day. Welcome to Earth, Wisdom, Fire Tarot. It's going to be a general reading, so it could resonate for any part of your life. I'm going to look at the situation, the challenges, the opportunities, and the next steps. Yeah, hope you find a message in here that resonates for you. This could be for your sun, moon, rising, or Venus. And I'm doing this in May, so I'm calling it a May reading, but this is kind of like a timeless reading. So whenever you're watching this, um, it could resonate for you. Also, these energies feel bigger than May, so the timeline may be longer than just this month. So just be aware of that. I think it's because it's been so long since I've done a reading. Also, this is a very powerful time, this energy right now. So, what's going on? All right, so the bottom of the deck right now is the sun in reverse. Yeah, I feel like this has a lot to do with how you see yourself. I think that you have, really struggled to see your light or to see your value. And I think this has made you kind of feel really depleted, like you don't have a lot of energy, like you're really tired. You might be tired of just kind of like going through the motions. Um and I also feel like you may have given up, on something. You may have felt like it just isn't meant for you, and it's like it's not even like a pessimism. It's like just an exhaustion. Like I'm just feeling this really tired, depleted energy, like this existential exhaustion over some sort of lesson here. So you have the Eight of Pentacles, and I feel like, again, this has to do with a lot of internal stuff. Like you've been working really hard on yourself, you've been working on maybe some very important project to you for a long time. But I feel like it's kind of limited you. It's made you feel kind of trapped, like you don't have any options. I also feel like you've been really in your head. There's been something that's been gnawing at you, this like truth or this message that you don't want to see. You've blindfolded yourself to it and you didn't want to acknowledge it. So with the Five of Pentacles being in reverse, I feel like there's an unhealed wound here around abandonment or self-worth. And this has been coming out for a lot of the readings, and it's always been coming out in reverse for some reason, because it just feels like it hasn't been able to come to the surface yet. It's just been kind of buried there. So let's look at the challenges here. Wow, 3 8s in the upright. Wow. All right, so bottom of the deck is the Knight of Cups in reverse. You haven't been listening to your heart. I think your heart has really told you everything that you need to know here. You just haven't been, it's not even just your heart, it's like your intuition. It's like, you know, I think that you've been prioritizing really straightforward, easy answers here with the Ace of Swords. And that's a good thing. Like, there's nothing wrong with clarity, but I feel like there's a lot more going on here. And it's going to take a lot for you to really see yourself clearly, to really see your strength and your power and your resilience. And I think that you really struggle to have compassion for yourself. I think what this is about is like being really hard on yourself, really limiting yourself to certain goals, maybe that certain long-term goals or long-standing dreams. And I actually don't feel like this is dreams. I feel like this is like something kind of practical, and it could have been something that you were really good at, that you naturally gravitated to, but that wasn't, fulfilling you on a heart level. That's why this Knight of Cups is in reverse. And that's why I think that you've felt a lot of resistance around this. There's this heartbreak here, this Three of Swords. And I feel like this is imminent. I feel like it's either imminent or it's in your recent past. There's been this realization that something you really wanted to give your whole heart to, like, wouldn't even accept it. It just wasn't a match. It wasn't a vibrational match. It's just like you had this determination and you had this like opening, that maybe you kind of barreled your way through because of all the work that you've done on yourself or on this situation. But definitely feeling like there's a lot of resistance here, and it's just gonna end up in more and more heartbreak the harder you try to pursue it or to try to make it happen. So with the Hierophant, definitely feel like this is what you're kind of struggling against, like some sort of traditional way of doing things, or I think it's actually like guidance and wisdom that you've received at some point in your life. It was kind of like your guiding force, and you really wanted to listen to it because I think that you loved this person or who gave you this advice, or you really looked up to them and admired them. You might have even wanted what they had. But there's this deeper wisdom within you that I feel like you're being forced to acknowledge here. This isn't just like on a mental level, like it's like way deeper. And then you have the Eight of Cups. So now you have 3 eights here. And it really, like, eights have a lot to do with learning really intense karmic lessons, abundance, really applying yourself, working hard, like doing the real work. And I feel like with the Eight of Cups, there's been a lot of emotional investment into this thing. But even though you were investing in it and investing in it and investing in it, it wasn't really satisfying you or fulfilling you. And you're having to walk away. Even though you love this person, you love this thing, whatever the situation is, you're having to realize that you're not a vibrational match. And this Tower card, I feel like, is how it's going to feel when maybe you cut the cords or you walk away. And I actually feel like this Eight of Cups is just you sort of processing the emotions. I don't think this is you actually taking any kind of action yet. I feel like it's just like gearing up for it. But the universe is like, I think that you were feeling that in advance because you're just intuitive and you know that something big, was going to change and happen anyway. And I think what a lot of this is about too is what you kind of kept your head down about, what you kind of just, like the motions that you just kept going through. There wasn't a truth to it. There wasn't, a weight to it. There was something very flimsy about it, and the Tower kind of brought all that down, so that you could really focus on what truly matters to you, what's really going to make your heart feel like it's being heard. Because I feel like this Eight of Swords is you really blocking out your intuition and what your heart is trying to tell you. So let's look at the opportunities. Okay, so bottom of the deck is the Lover's card in reverse. So I feel like the real opportunity here is to get back into what makes you thrive. I think this is really about you finding your authentic self, because the Lover's card is a Gemini card. And this is important because whatever, oh my God, right when I said that, I saw the moon. And it's like daytime still. That's pretty interesting. Um, so yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, I feel like this is you really getting back to your true authentic self. And like I know that me seeing the moon right then is definitely supposed to be part of the reading. So I feel like what's happening there is with this full moon in Scorpio that's happening around the time I'm doing this reading, or just an important full moon for you, like whenever this is happening, I think that you are kind of sorting through a lot of emotions, like deep seated emotions that were really hard for you to sort of wrap your head around for a while. And now you're just sort of surrendering to them and really fully feeling them. But I do think that you are healing a relationship here that, and it doesn't have to be a relationship with a person, just a relationship to possibly this old way of doing things, where you were just kind of going with what you were good at instead of what you actually wanted to be doing. I feel like you're realizing that you actually do have a choice here. You have a choice as to how you live your life and how you experience reality even. Like you're not accepting the status quo. That's really what this is about. I definitely feel like with this Two of Cups in reverse and this Nine of Swords in reverse, you've been burying a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety over what's really truly meant for you. And you've been trying to ignore this calling that's in your heart towards what's meant for you. This Temperance card, I feel like, is you really just finding peace in the truth and allowing yourself to transmute these more difficult, intense emotions. The Ten of Swords, I feel like, is you totally getting closure on this. Like this is an inherently painful situation. Any kind of ending is painful. I feel like with the Ten of Swords, though, there's this surrender, and it's like you're giving up, you're not fighting anymore. And I think you're realizing how much you are betraying yourself. You're betraying your true self by not pursuing this other thing that you want to be doing, or by at least acknowledging that what you're spending your time and energy on isn't making you thrive on a heart level. It isn't like making you feel alive. It's not good for you. And we have the other 8 here. It's in reverse now. So all 4 8s came out in this reading. This is all about self-mastery. This is all about you. And this 8 of Wands in reverse means that the answers are not going to come from outside of you. You're not going to be saved by some perfect revelation or some perfect synchronicity outside of you. You have to search within yourself to find these answers. And when you take that opportunity, you're going to be able to fully grieve the past with this 5 of Cups. This is your opportunity to let go fully. This is your opportunity to grow and to use this pain to create something beautiful. I really think that's what this is about. It's about really transmuting this angst or this yearning, into something that wants to be brought out into the light with this Sun card. It's like there's been this hidden desire or this hidden way of seeing things, this hidden beauty that's been buried underneath all of this practicality or all of this denial, all of this distraction. And it's like, no more. Like the Tower is here to say, like, none of that was sustainable. Let's look at next steps. Oh, wow, that's so beautiful. The Ace of Cups. This is your real, true heart's desire. This is you really embracing this love that you have, this passion that you have for whatever it is that you know you want the most. And you have the other ace here too, the Ace of Pentacles. So I think it's a very real, tangible thing. So it could be a creative project. It could be a person, but whatever it is, like the heartbreak is now in reverse. Like you're not going to have to feel that again once you go on this new path. That's really what this is about, is about not having to repeat the same lessons, not having to suppress your truth and your real true desire anymore. You can just acknowledge it and be in it and feel relieved because of it. You have the Two of Rods. I feel like this is you consciously choosing to move in the direction of your passions and your purpose, and you're aligning with what the universe wants for you. So it's like your destiny is laying out itself before you, and instead of trying to fight against it or resist it, you're going with it. And with the King of Pentacles in reverse, I feel like whatever, like I said, this very practical sort of voice in the back of your head saying, you have to do things a certain way. You kind of have to go with the status quo. You kind of have to dull down your dreams. You're silencing that voice. That voice did not truly believe in you and your vision. No one else has the vision that you have. And I think that's what this is really about, is that no matter how much you try to express what it is that's on your heart, or how much you want to explain this direction that you want to go in, no one's really going to understand fully but you. So it's like you're not looking for somebody else outside of you to like approve of what you know is right for you, what you need to do for you. You have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. So again, there's more energy here of just like silencing other people, no longer feeling like you need other people in order to build this or start this thing. You're doing it on your own. And it's not even like a lonely adventure. Like, it's actually really good for you to have that independence and to not rely on others. I also feel like you can't focus on the tangible manifestation of this thing before it actually arrives. You do kind of need to sort through the emotional part of it, like really get clear on your vision, really get clear on the emotional core of what this is before you start trying to manifest it into reality or start trying to build on something, because you don't want to start building on a shaky foundation again and have this tower come through all over again. This time you're going to take your time. There's no rushing here. Like I said, four rods in reverse. Like, this isn't the time to worry about whether or not you have a solid foundation that has anything to do other than the emotional core and the vision. Like, those are the two most important things. With the Chariot card, you are going to see a lot of success with this. You are going to see yourself in a new light, just really feel unencumbered, feel like the obstacles have been cleared from your path. And all those obstacles were ones that you put there yourself to slow yourself down. You were holding yourself back, and now you're not. So with the Seven of Rods, I feel like this is you just having really healthy, strong boundaries around this and really being able to defend your vision because you believe in it that much. So when other people try to push back on this or try to talk you out of it, you are prepared, with your own truth to be able to just like say it, let it go, and not worry what other people think about this thing that you need to do for yourself. Then you have the Nine of Rods. So you're going to maintain that. You're going to stand in that power and you're going to be consistent about it. I feel like this Nine of Rods is usually about like being kind of like at the end of your rope, but I feel like this is you being at the end of a lot of difficult lessons. You're not going to have to repeat them. You have made it, to this place where you can stand in your power and stand in your truth. And you know what to expect. You know that other people may not see things the way that you do, but they don't have your exact set of experiences. They don't share your vision. That message just keeps coming through over and over again. So if you know that somebody doesn't share your vision, just don't tell them about this. Like, they don't need to be involved in this. This could be something that you just keep close to your chest, that you just kind of keep to yourself and work on your own. I think that this is something that only you can do alone. Like there's nothing that other people can do to help you with this. Okay. So you have softly, softly, the tender touch. So that's definitely the feeling that I get from this reading. Like even though the tower came out, like this does not feel like a dramatic situation. This feels like a quiet sort of internal shift. This is a lot of introspection. It's a lot of really digging deep and learning yourself and yeah, doing a lot of inner work. So I feel like you need to be compassionate with yourself, and I think that you need to be unafraid to be totally authentic and stand in your power. Like there is power from vulnerability. There is power from, being soft, and I feel like that's what this is really about. Um, if you can have that compassion for yourself, and if you're brave enough to, you know, present that vulnerability to the world, you'll go really, really far with this. Like no one's gonna be able to stand in your way. You have sacred full believing in yourself and not, caring at all what anybody thinks about you, just expressing yourself authentically. And this is going to be a departure from what you've been doing with your time and energy, but it's not a departure from this like imagination that you've been, I feel like this has a lot to do with creativity and imagination and something that needs to like be expressed through you. That's why this vision is so important. I think it's something that you've held for a long time or that you've known has been coming. This doesn't feel like it's a brand new like spark of inspiration like that just came out of nowhere. Like this is something that you've been thinking about or wondering about for a long time. So you have releasing allegiances, meaning that you have to let go of all the things that were tethering you to the past, all the excuses that you used to make. You need to let all of that go with compassion and with love and with care for yourself, because it's not going to be easy to do this. You are going to be alone in this. You're going to be alone. I don't think you're going to be lonely for long. I think in the beginning there might be an adjustment, but once you're past that, like you'll be good. You'll be really, really good. You'll be thriving. So, yeah, big bold vision here once again. So this card is coming out to confirm exactly what I felt, that your vision is bold. It is completely different. It's like you're a pioneer. You're some sort of rebel. And that's why other people aren't going to understand what it is you need to do. But just trust that you've been given this vision because you're the unique person to be able to bring it to fruition. Nobody else can do what you do here. You have bring it into form and receiving. So these are two like very different energies, but they need each other. You need to be able to be open to receiving what's meant to be. And when the time is right, you need to act on inspired action. I'm not feeling a lot of action in this reading. I feel like it's coming later, but you need to be open to insight, and you need to have a clear mind and a clear heart to be in the right space and vibration to receive the information that you need here to sort of like flesh this out and start making this like almost like the precursor to making plans and like writing it all down. I feel like you need a lot of time to just like revisit this because maybe you've put it on hold for a long time, or times have changed so rapidly that whatever it was before, like whatever way you thought it was going to fit into the world, you may have to be creative and express it in a new way that you weren't expecting. So just take your time with this. Nothing in your life really tangibly has to change other than your posture in it, like the way you're showing up in it and your energy. That's really what this is about. It's subtle but extremely important. Become the elixir. Let your glow do the heavy lifting. So I feel like this has a lot to do with what I was talking about with like changing your energy, changing how you show up in the world. It's like you're doing a lot of magic just by that. You're going to be attracting the right energy to you when you're showing up in the right way. So the wonderful elixir of light is the thing that actually connects the immaterial with the material, that connects the cosmic to the plain everyday existence that we try to live in. You've had life-altering experiences, learned libraries worth of knowledge, and are now incalculably wealthy, spiritually and otherwise. It probably feels selfish to keep all this life-affirming wisdom to yourself. If you could, through osmosis, you would transmit the contents of your journey, every experience, trial, and reward to every person you meet. And yet, if you share when uninvited, your gifts will fall upon deaf ears. Honor the wisdom you've earned and learned, while honoring the people in your circle of life. By remembering that you are the elixir, without having to say a word or do a single thing, you are the medicine, blessing, and presence that soothes the hearts, minds, and souls of all you meet. You are so steeped in the elixir that you do the work simply by being, beaming, and showing up. Perfect message, exactly what I was feeling. So absolutely beautiful. Hope this helps. Thank you so much. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Bye.